to cold water for you. And although time may take us into different places, I will still be patient with you. So baby, pull me closer in the backseat.
Yeah, not into that song. Don't like that. No! Like a baby. I'm just like, get it out of here! Me no likey. Okay. Sweet, it's starting. Okay, hello Chrissy. Let's all welcome Chrissy. She's a very delightful young lady from my home country of England. Now, I'm talking about Hassan Piker. He did an article called Why Suicide Bombings Have Nothing to Do with Islam. That's right. That's not me lying. That's actually what it is. And his reasoning is unbelievable. I go into detail. I have a bunch of audio I got to go through. It's kind of long. So let's just churn through it and just grind it. Please come grind with me.
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas. Hey, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Which one do you like better?
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas. Hey, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Totally doesn't matter.
I want to talk to you today about...
You hear that little click? That's the click right there. Take it out.
I want to talk to you today about Genk Uyghur's little cousin.
I think I fucked this one up a bunch of times. Let's try that.
I want to talk to you today about Genk Uyghur's little cousin with the big shoulders, otherwise known as Brown Fabio. His birth name is Hassan Parker. Hassan.
I fucked it up. Like Peter Parker.
Hassan Piker. And apparently he's the kind of guy that the Huffington Post wants writing articles for them. He's what we call a contributor. Just like...
Let's see, I fucked this one up too.
Just like that seagull was a contributor to my tuna fish sandwich the other day.
Okay.
He wrote an article which I didn't think was humanly possible. This is Poe's law, meaning it's impossible to decipher if it's satire or not. Can't believe somebody could be this dumb, willfully ignorant.
Yeah, let's eliminate that cough.
And just bizarrely obvious.
I think I change of heart on this one.
And just bizarrely counterfactual to a level that...
All right. Don't think any of that's necessary.
And so obviously counterfactual. It really boggles my mind. Ready for it? Ready for the title? Here it is. Ready for the title? Here it is. Why the Holocaust Had Nothing to Do with Nazism, by Hassan Piker. The evolution and how genocide incorrectly became synonymous with Nazism. Now, Hassan, that doesn't make sense because there's Hitler, you have a picture of him, and he was a Nazi and he did the Holocaust. Him and other Nazis. So therefore
Oh shit.
And other Nazis. So therefore
studio.
Nazis. So therefore the Nazis. So therefore the Holocaust.
Not exactly a clean edit, is it?
Nazis. So therefore
What if I did this?
So therefore and other Nazis. So therefore
No. What if I cut that?
Nazis. So therefore and other Nazis. So therefore the Holocaust and other Nazis. So therefore the Holocaust has everything to do with Nazism. Wait a minute, Devin. Surely you're kidding. Yes. You people are too smart. I am kidding. You want to see his real article? You tell me what degree of kidding this is. If you think this is a joke, wait till you see the real one. You tell me how much did I have to bump this up to make it a joke? Ready? Watch.
Okay.
The real article. The real article. Why suicide bombings have nothing to do with Islam. Oh, Brown Fabio.
Now, let me see if the peeps are here. What's up, Devin? How you doing, man? Cheers, mate, from Sweden. What's going on, man? I hope you're in a good city, not Malmo or Gothenburg. I hope you're not in a no-go zone. I hope you're not in little Mogadishu. Jimmy Dore's a lizard-licking crackhead, correct? Welcome. Welcome all you anonymous, brave anonymous souls willing to talk and chat and express your opinions behind a mask. Deke is unstoppable, correct. Nibush? Is he a Trump guy? Get the fuck out. Okay. Cheers from Swindon. Ew, are you really from Swindon? Sargon just looked at my last video. He left a comment. Okay, back to it.
Islam. Oh, Brown Fabio. And once again, looky here.
Looky here now.
Looky here now. We have the evolution. Looky here now. We have the evolution. We have a picture. The evolution. We have a picture of suicide bombers with a kid. By the way, nice touch. With a kid. With a kid, nice touch. Always good to get the family involved. And these suicide bombers are Islamic, just like they all are. There was once a suicide bomber. No, he was Islamic. Here we go. Let's break this down. Here we go. Let's break this down and figure out if Brown Fabio has just broken a bomb. If Brown Fabio has just broken a major story. We were sadly confused. We were sadly confused this whole time. Thank you, Brown Fabio. Thank you. This whole time. Thank you, Brown Fabio, for setting us straight. Suicide is a sin in Islam, just like the other two Abrahamic religions. Wow, instantly drag Christianity and Judaism into this.
Let's chill out that little vocal spike, even though the sound of my voice is very nurturing and comforting. Too much of a good thing.
Christianity and Judaism into this. There's no difference, right, Hassan? When was the last time there was a suicide bombing from a Jew or a Christian? When? He's already playing that game right off the bat. Okay, so it's a sin. That's your headline. It's a sin. That's your headline. That's your subheader. Your big point. Suicide is a sin in Islam. Great. Let me debunk it in 2 seconds. What suicide bombers do and how they rationalize it is the fact that it's a suicide bombing. It's not just a suicide, which might be frowned upon in that culture. And there's every reason to have that. and that is a common sense tradition in every culture. Don't kill yourself. Not good for the tribe. But the fact that it's a bombing means that it's an attack. And it's not just a random attack, it's attack in defense of the faith. It's attack in defense of the and it's not just a random means that it's an attack. It's an attack. It's a random attack, it's attack in defense. It's attack in
I'm going to try to do something crazy here.
attack, it's an attack.
That's not going to work.
It's attack in defense of the faith. A random attack, it's attack in defense
I don't
of
say and. I just say it's attack and defense. Oh,
It's not just a random attack, it's attack in defense of the faith, otherwise known as jihad.
well,
Otherwise known as jihad. Jihad. Now, you
look at that. See, I'm popping and clicking. God. Oh,
known as jihad. Now, known as jihad. Now, you know what's
click. Fucking unbelievable. That's clickbait.
now, you know what's not a sin in Islam? Jihad. So suicide bombers consider themselves to be jihadists acting on behalf of Allah. You should have known that, Brown Fabio. They say that in every interview, in every letter that is sent out by every terrorist group. This is their war against the infidels. That's why when they suicide, as you say, and are oddly focused on the first part of a two-word term, what they are doing is bombing and killing infidels for Allah. In other words, your point is null, and your point. In other words, your point is null and void, utterly worthless. Now go do some shoulder press-ups.
Press-ups.
Now
Get it right.
Now go do some more shoulder presses, you frat bro piece of.
It's hard to insult somebody on the fly.
You wannabe model frat boy douche. Now we could end it there, but let's go forward. Why not? After a soccer, oh God, look at him. After a soccer match earlier this weekend in Turkey, a twin suicide bombing took the lives of 38 people and injured more than 160 others. So in other words, his home country of Turkey. This is where his people come from. He has family over there. And he thought to himself, another suicide bombing in Turkey. It's not Islamic though. Yeah, not a thing. How can I make people not worry about this or not associate it with Islamic people? Officials believe the bombings were the work of Kurdish Officials believe the bombings were the work of Kurdish terrorist group TAK, an offshoot of PKK. This is the 19th terrorist incident in Turkey in 2016. In 2015, suicide attacks around the world reportedly killed or injured 9,109 civilians. Most suicide bombings target Muslims rather than non-Muslims. Interesting. Very interesting point. Who said that that was not the case? Who said that that was not the case? It seems like you're answering a statement that was never said. Seems like you were trying to make it seem like, hey, don't worry, they're killing other Muslims. Like, hey, don't worry, they're killing other Muslims. Like, Muslims don't count, or we should not care if Muslims are being killed. Very weird. Yet there is a widespread perception in the West, no there isn't, that suicide bombings tend to be carried out by Muslims against no. Here's the widespread perception, which is actually a reality. When there is a suicide bombing and it kills non-Muslims, which is everybody else, the chances that it is a Muslim who is the perpetrator is like 99%. Point something, 99 point something percent. That's the issue. So he says there's a perception in the West that suicide bombings tend to be carried out by Muslims against non-Muslim targets. Hello, I'm being interrupted.
I'm gonna kill the door because I don't know if we have what's going on.
What are you gonna make? What are you gonna make?
Something. Something.
You guys should see her outfit she's wearing right now.
Peanut sauce.
I smell it right now, what she's making.
Peanut sauce.
Peanut sauce? Okay. Thai food? Make it. Thank you.
Listen to what she says right here.
Thank you. Screw you. Oh, okay. You just unplugged me. You just unplugged me. Incredible. No respect, I tell you. My wife. All right.
Okay, back to it.
Yeah, so there's a perception in the West that suicide bombings tend to be carried out by Muslims against non-Muslim targets and serve a religious purpose rooted deep within Islamic doctrine. But apparently Brown Fabio went through Islamic doctrine, and it says nothing about nail bombs. So, yeah, gotcha. For the dullards out there. Bombing was not invented 1,400 years ago when that effing book was written. Suicide bombings have been around since the 18th century. Oh God, look at him. Google search. But I want to talk about suicide bombings as a tool of modern terrorist warfare and how it became the archetype of Muslim violence. Wait, what? You're just admitting that it's the archetype of Muslim violence. Are you understanding that Muslims are believers of Islam? What the fuck? Am I going crazy?
It's so nasty to hear yourself make sounds that you're kind of unaware of, but you think of yourself as this being that can express thoughts and feelings in a civilized way, but then you listen back to yourself, and no, you're actually a sack of meat who has this disgusting arrangement of teeth and gums and cartilage and saliva, and it's making these fucking, like popping and clicking. You're just this vile creature, swamp thing, and you just come give me a kiss now, pop. It's nasty. Christ Almighty! It's a miracle I've ever had sex.
Am I going crazy here, Brown Fabio? Because while popular culture depicts Muslims as trigger-happy suicide bombers, no.
There's another click.
No. What would ever lead us to believe that? Where have you been? Suicide has always been a cardinal sin in Islam. Always back to that point. Interesting. Do you see that? It's amazing. Look at these three words next to each other. Suicide bombers, suicide. You see that? So if you're talking about suicide bombing, and then you pivot to a discussion about the act of suicide, not suicide bombing, suicide. That is Mind-destroyingly dumb. Oh, Pike. Oh, Piker. Oh, Senor Piker. You must put the pen down. Piker, seriously, you got to pump some weights, bro. All right, that's what you're good at. All right, give me pouty face. Give me a nice little Zoolander. You know, make it black and white. Throw a filter on that shit. Post it to your social media, brosif. Suicide or martyrdom in the Quran. Quran. By contrast, martyrdom, or when Allah decides when you die in battle while protecting your country, is sanctioned in certain verses throughout the Quran. Frequently cited is the Al-Baraka. Al-Baqarah.
I gotta see if anybody knows that reference. Does anybody know the reference? Oh, we got Raph is here. We've got what did Alex say that was so true? Raph is either Jimmy Dore this or gank that. Oh, Jimmy Dore this or gank that. I see. Yeah, they're pretty wretched people. Gotta admit that. What's up, Patrick? How's it going? Hope Devin subs will skyrocket. Yeah, that's not. I've plateaued. Yeah, I have this awkward thing of being completely against like 90% of my subs. I just don't like them. That's not that I don't like them. It's just that they're wrong on some big issues. Trump. I mean, everything that he represents. It's just. It's such a weird. I mean, like I think people are beginning to realize that Trump is just an asshole idiot, and it's not. It's neither here nor there. It's just that's who that guy is. I mean, if you support him, then that's a bad reflection on you. It's not anything else. Anyway, I'm about Sage and Paige getting tapped out rear naked style. Praise be upon you, Tracy. Thank you. Good afternoon, chat, and Devin. Hello. Good afternoon. I hope your day is going swimmingly. I hope everything's doing awesome. Like Patrick, doing fine, Devin. Always good to see you. Well, pleasure is all mine. Patrick has a new video coming out soon, so coming to a local theater near you. Speaking of which, I'm going to see the original version of Star Wars Rogue One this evening, tonight. I will report back on it. I will. Not that anybody cares about my opinion, but I will tell it. I look forward to it. I've heard some reviews. I've heard some interesting analysis of it. Hey, Devin. Hello. This is somebody I know. Who is that? That's a secret person. That's a person I do know because I've modded them. Never saw a live stream. Yeah, get ready for your world to be rocked, man. It's mind-blowing. People tell me it's like doing ayahuasca, but just the digital version of that. Who's the cuck now? Sam Harris. Awesome. Yeah, Sage. Well, Sage is 20 years old. I mean, he's a child in there, even though he looks like, Mr. Wheaties box Joe Olympian. He's not ready. Rogue One stunk. Wow. What were you expecting? Patreon stream soon? Yeah, we'll chat. We'll have a little talk. Mickey Gall. No, it's just that's all it is Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, it's such a non-event that a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu guy stuffed a takedown, took somebody's back, and choked him out. It's like, yeah, we do that every minute. Devin, does your girl have to have a pass signed from Master Tracy to go to the bedroom or the kitchen? I've waived that necessity temporarily. But when she's on her period, then it goes back into effect, just to humiliate her for no other reason. Brosif. Dude, Brosif, trust me, man, I'm part of the Brosif culture. And I lived in a frat, and I've been to college, and I know the American Brosif mentality, and I know a frat dick when I see one. Devin Tracy, you are better than Christopher Robin himself. Thank you. And that's coming from Pooh Bear, so he should know. Devin, where do you find your music? Well, I just made a video about that, and if it's not the hype machine, it's not word of mouth. Nobody's just being... Now people are sending me emails because I mentioned that I was looking for new music, but, there's no water cooler talk where, hey, my girlfriend has never said, hey, there's this new song I like, you should check it out. So it's up to you. And nobody has time. Who has time to sift through a bunch of crap songs? A Fish Called Wander is better than Rogue One. Hey, Devin, do you like hip-hop today? Any favorites? No. I just saw Saturday Night Live, and they had this Chance the Rapper guy on, and I listened to 30 seconds of both of his songs, and I was not into it at all. And hip hop today, I'm sure there's some good stuff coming out, but it's, again, I don't know, man. I like, there's new songs that I will like, but I almost feel like there's so much music that it's hard to get really into one thing. I don't know, maybe this is weird, but like back when music was a limited resource, it was like when you found a good song, it was really cool. And for you to replace it with another cool song, I mean, you'd have to go through your parents' old collection or wait for some new album to come. Now you could just, there's so many damn songs. It's mind blowing. If I said to you, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? That used to be a question people ask. And that was because there was like 20 flavors that you could think of at the top of your head. Or 10, 15. Now we have millions of ice cream flavors. It's no longer fun. It's actually just stressful. Rogue One is better than Force Awakens. Oh, Johnny Cobra from Cobra Kai it's a bold statement. I can appreciate a good hype machine. Hype machine is good. I mean, remixes and just the entire army of people out there remixing, that's a fun place to get to. But also there's original stuff that's good too, pumping out. I don't know. It's questionable. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Let me get back on it.
Verse. Verse. And say not of those who are killed in the way of Allah, they are dead. Nay. Nay.
Okay.
Nay. They are living, but you perceive it not. Oh, really? Well, I perceive his Well, I perceive the bloody stump that was once his leg. He dead. He dead. This parrot is no more. I mention this distinction because despite what both Islam's fiercest critics, I am Harris, and most fervent adherents say, there are no verses in the Quran that explicitly urge Muslims to take their own lives, and many that describe suicide as a sin. Wow, it's stunning to me that he is still trying to hammer this point home. The relevant action, the action that justifies, I'm explaining this again. It's not a suicide, it's an act of jihad. Get
it right.
It's a glorious, noble thing. In fact, it's the greatest thing you can do. The reason they use suicide The reason they use suicide sometimes is because it's an effective tool,
Sometimes it's good to write your things out before.
It's an effective tool because it's
because you can actually formulate a sentence and think it through and choose the right word and reflect on it. I've never written anything out, but I mean, I understand why people do it.
sometimes it's an effective.
Yeah, now I gotta fucking. This is a pain in the patootie.
Sometimes is because it's.
That just flows, doesn't it?
Sometimes is because it's an effective tool to blow up a bunch of people, and they're just that bonkers that they'll do it. If they had other ways to do it, they'd do that. And they do that. When they have control over large armies and heavy weaponry. For large armies and heavy weaponry.
Oh, it's also weird.
Armies and heavy weaponry. Large armies and heavy weaponry.
You can tell how much I care.
The first step with
Oh, God.
the first step with self-sacrifice. The connection between suicide bombings and militant Islamic ideology can be traced back to Iran's Ayatollah Khomeini and the Iran-Iraq war that raged during the 1980s. Khomeini took the concept of self-sacrifice, already prominent within Iranian Shia's interpretation of the Quran, and extended it to taking one's life for the greater cause, or promoting the Iranian revolution. Iranian. It's Iranian. And for Khomeini, that included expanding Islam's role in the war against Saddam Hussein's Iraq. Once again, just a little refresher course as to where we are right now. We are halfway through an article talking about how suicide bombing has nothing to do with Islam, and he's talking about the origins of suicide bombing in Iran, which is an Islamic state filled with Islamic people who follow Islam. Okay?
Ew.
Okay? Everybody just understand what's happening right now? Okay, good. Continuing.
Click much?
Khomeini picked young boys who were susceptible to indoctrination and marched them into minefields, using their bodies to clear paths for Iranian forces to walk through. He would give these children keys to symbolically...
Oh God, I fucked that word up. Symbolically.
He would give these children keys to symbolically represent that they would be unlocking the gates of heaven. This tactic shocked the world. That deserved its own sentence. That deserved its own paragraph. Hafez al-Assad's revolution. While many within the Islamic world were horrified, Syrian President Hafez al-Assad, father of current Syrian President Hafez al-Assad, father of current Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, saw an opportunity. He then expanded on the idea of using self-sacrifice not only as a means of defense, but also as an offensive weapon when he sent suicide bombers behind the wheel of a bus packed with 2,000 pounds of shit explosives into a U.S. Marine base in Lebanon. These shit militants Assad helped assemble eventually became what we know as the Hezbollah. Suicide is a sin in Islam. Dude, beat that drum, why don't you? Just like in the other two Abrahamic religions. The ones that don't commit suicide bombing. Interesting. I wonder if you'll touch on that. Christianity and Judaism. But these new interpretations, combined with the near constant struggle. Oh God, are you going to blame Jews in America? Oh my God, please tell me you do. The near constant struggle against what were perceived as occupying forces created a new reality within the fringes of the Islamic community that glorified suicide. A little not all in there somewhere. Not my family. We don't believe in suicide. Or suicide bombing. Sunni adoption of suicide bombings in Israel. Fast forward a couple years to Hamas's adoption. Fast forward a couple years later to Hamas's adoption of this radical interpretation. Right, it wasn't the true Islam though, right? Wink, wink. Right, religion is not all about interpretation. Right.
Right. Sound like I'm Australian.
Great, cool. And suicide bombing suddenly became a tactic employed by Sunni as well as shit militants. This is also when the truly devastating power of suicide. This This is also when the truly devastating power of suicidal attacks became apparent. Yeah, those work. That killed a bunch of people. Let's do that more. In the 90s, Hamas started targeting Israeli citizens by Hamas started targeting. In the 90s, Hamas started targeting Israeli citizens.
Jesus.
Hamas started targeting Israeli citizens by strapping explosives made from household items onto women and children and detonating them in public places. This was out of the norm for two reasons. What? Because it wasn't all of them, so technically, mathematically, it was not normal. While the Shia interpretation of the Quran offers some leeway around self-harm to allow for self-sacrifice. What? Offers some leeway? Wait, there's a little wiggle room? In other words, they're totally cool with it? Why don't you break up the Pew poll studies as to how many Pew poll studies as to how many people think suicide bombing is acceptable or sometimes justified? And then when you count those people up and recognize that they represent hundreds of millions, then let's have a conversation. The Sunni interpretation strictly prohibits it. Oh, really? Also, until this point, only occupying combatants had been targeted, whereas now civilians were being victimized. Egyptian Sheikh Youssef al-Qaddawi? Egyptian Sheikh Youssef al-Qaradawi offered a unique justification. For him, all Israeli citizens, including women and children, were occupying forces. Ta-da! Because all citizens had to serve in the Israeli military. He went on to explain that all Israelis come from the family all Israeli people belong to the family Rodentia. Sunni extremists' adoption of suicide bombings. Sunni extremists' adoption of suicide bombing that targeted civilians proved critical.
Look at a shit stir. Who doesn't like Alex Katz? The hell? I love Alex. Alex Katz is a good guy. You should meet him. Where is he?
Once attacks against civilians could be justified, civilians proved critical. Once attacks against civilians could be justified, the words of the no longer meant anything. According to
Jesus. Oh my god, I think I fucked it up a million times.
According to a 2012 study published in the National Counterterrorism Center, Sunni extremists accounted for the greater number of terrorist attacks and fatalities for the third consecutive year.
Jesus.
Accounted for the great in the National Counterterrorism Center,
Unbelievable.
Sunni extremists accounted for the greatest number of terrorist attacks and fatalities for the third consecutive year. Where? Period. Capital M. More than 57,000 incidents were attributed to Sunni extremists. Dude. What the? 50 were attributed to 57,000.
Jesus.
Accounting for nearly 56% of all. more than 5,700 incidents were attributed to Sunni extremists, accounting for nearly 56% of all, accounting for nearly 56% of all attacks and about 70% of all fatalities. Oh, what? Okay, so just the Sunnis make up 70% of the fatalities and 56% and 56% of the attacks. Dude, those are all Muslims. And we're talking about 5,700 attacks? And who do you think the other people are? Amish? It's other Muslims. Jesus. This perverted version of Islam that upends more than 1,000 years of a consensus interpretation of the Quran, of the Quran, of the Quran, of the Quran, of the Quran has been used to indoctrinate youths and countries crippled by war. What? Oh, wait a minute. The 1,000 years before bombing was invented? That 1,000 years? Damn it. Brown Fabio, did you think this was going to work on anyone? Probably did. That's the sad part. In states where citizens have very little access to the basic amenities that many governments elsewhere provide, young people with nowhere else to turn seek answers from religious leaders. Yeah, this explains it away. It's cool. No problem. It's not Islam's fault. Come on, it's poverty, it's war, it's kind of the West. And those religious leaders are not shy about pointing the finger of blame at Western occupying force, kind of like you just did. Western occupying forces and justifying attacks against fellow Muslims as a means of advancing their own agendas. Okay, so Muslims blow themselves up. Noise, 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 noise. Islam has nothing to do with suicide bombing. Interesting. While power-hungry religious clerics and other Islamic leaders have promoted suicide bombings as a justifiable tool of war, the majority of Muslims condemn it, just like the Quran does. Quran does. Where does the Quran condemn suicide bombing? Oh, does the Quran condemn jihad? Because that's what they're doing in their minds. That's the justification. Jeez. Jeez Louise. But wait a minute, guys. The majority, 51% of Muslims or more of the 1.7 billion disagree with it. Hold on, let me wipe my hands here. Yep, you did it. All done here. Nothing more to see. Move along as you were. Suicide bombings have always been used to... Suicide bombings have always been used to achieve political ends and have nothing to do with waging holy war. What? Wait a minute. Nothing to do with it, except for the fact that the people that do it are doing just... will tell you to do it, are do it will tell you directly to your face that they're doing it because of a holy war. That, aside from that, hey, Devin, what are you doing? I'm making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Why? Because I'm hungry. Cut to Devin Tracy. Devin Tracy did not make a peanut butter sandwich. Did not make a. Because I'm hungry. Cut to Devin Tracy did not make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because he was hungry. What? He just told you, literally just told you he did it because of that. Oh. No matter what Western media, Islam's critics, Ham Harris, or religious clerics, or religious clerics will have you believe. So in other words, Western media, here's the conspiracy. Western media, Sam Harris, the leaders of Islam, and the people committing the act of jihad who claim it's for a holy war. Aside from them, Brown Fabio's here to tell you it has nothing to do with anything. The attack committed by the PKK on Turkish soil is merely the latest example. Oh, you want to crunch numbers? You want to compare the PKK suicide bombs versus Muslims? Oh, religion is simply a recruitment tool targeting the undereducated. Speaking of which, talk about the blind leading the blind. Talk about the pot calling the kettle a friggin' Muslim. The vulnerable and the disaffected. Oh, a violent means for a violent end. Ah, sounds like Westworld. These violent delights have violent ends. That's one of the quotes from Westworld. Oh, and that is the end of that story. And now, for a singular shit and giggle, let's take a look at who Brown Fabio is and the pictures he's posted on his Facebook page. And there he is.
Okay, I will show you the image and then I'll show you what I said about it. And right now we have Raphael trying to dominate the chat like he's some sort of a silverback gorilla, weighs 100 pounds, and piss his thoughts and talking points everywhere, and inspire hatred towards him, and just marauding, general marauding. Do you stop in sentences then edit? No. What do you mean? What you talking about, Willis? Okay, images of Brown Fabio. You asked for them, you get them. Here we go. First one. See if I can manage this. Make it entertaining for the people.
A fashion icon. I mean, look at that. Just peacocking with an erect hairstyle. He's an upwardly mobile, hairy Muslim man. Oh, he's in your face. Look at the rings. You tell me you can peacock like that? Different rings, different shapes, all sorts of... Oh, man. Look at the hair. Look at that stripe of hair on his right hand. Look at the hair. Look at that stripe of hair on his right hand. What is that, a landing strip? Oh, it's a thing of beauty. Here he is with some of his crew. And oh, we got an edgelord here. He's got one of those shirts. Man, that's not a t-shirt that any straight guy should wear. It's a designer tee. And he's double middle finger for no apparent reason. Just, that's how fucking, the man is a samurai sword. Of pure hairy edginess. Fuck you, man. Here we go. Oh, look at. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, God. Oh, that should be in a coffee table book. Look at him. Just, what are you doing? I don't know, looking cool. Who dressed you? Pharrell? Why are you sitting in that pile of dirt and rocks? Well, I'm not sitting. I'm crouching. It's like crouching Fabio.
Crouching Fabio.
Crouching Fabio, hidden pubic hair. Yeah, I'm just, one leg sticking out. It's sort of a thing. Don't worry about it. It's like a hat. And trust me, people dig it. And here we go. Look at him. There he be. There he is. That's a 5 o'clock shadow that refuses to die. And he comes prepared, man. His jacket's got a little arm zipper, just in case, Gotta carry something in your arm. Here he is with a couple dudes, looking like the opening scene of a gay porn. Just guys putting their junk up in his face, and he's excited about it. That's cool. And X gonna give it. And X gonna give it to you. Here we go, little X. Here we go, little X. Oh, X marks the spot. Oh.
Wasn't happy with my growl.
Here we go, little X. Oh, X marks the spot. Oh, fresh. What is that? A wrestling? What is that? A wrestling thing? Was that a DMX thing? X gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. Give it to you. Oh, there he goes. He's at an art exhibit, but really he's the art. I mean, he's got his Trump thing. He's sort of teeing it up. Necklace, rings. I mean, he's the show. There he is, puffed out. There he goes, cobraing up that chest. What's up? What's up, guys? This is what? Oh, yeah, I go to the gym, but this is how I usually look. Yeah. Just fill it up with air, and it makes you feel bigger. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Sensitive times. It's black and white. Oh, God. Hidden depths. He's a commentator for Huffington Post. Did you know that? Hell. Look at that. There's those shoulders, man. Look at that. He's just putting horse steroids into those shoulders. And look at the chest hair from hell. Whoa. Actually, I have as much chest hair as that, but not thick and black. Do not stare into that chest hair. I mean, it is swirling, and there are patterns in there and swirls. You can get lost in that chest hair. I've heard of people missing a week of work They came back and they said, what happened? They went, I was looking at Hassan's chest hair. Look at, this was during one of his Rambo montage sequences where he was just lifting boulders and training to fight Drago. And there he is. And there he is, man. Again. Let me go hoodie. I'm gonna go hoodie up for this shot. Got the bandana on, just randomly, like I'm in a Mexican bike. Randomly, like I'm in a Mexican biker gang, and but I want to do like a pouty face, just like sort of what? Oh, me? What? You calling my name? What? I'm just sitting here looking hot. There he is. There he is. Young Turks. Oh. I like that. Hey, make it look like it's candid. Make it look like I'm just looking over this direction. Hey, Brown Fabio, what are you looking at? Nothing. I'm not looking at the camera. That's most important. Trust me. Dude, I've been doing this for a while. I've been taking selfies my whole life. And my response to this outfit is the word no. This outfit's not asking me a direct question. Doesn't matter. My answer is still no. No. Hassan, no. First of all, nice moose knuckle. Second of all, what the fuck is the fit of those jeans? What is that? Those are bad fitting jeans for somebody else's body. On your body, that's Chernobyl. Your shoes are queer. The amount of decorations you've put on your wrist and hands is pointless. I hate that belt. I hate that shirt. I hate the pattern. I hate that stupid napkin you have on your head. Hate the facial hair. Hate the jacket. Love the socks. I mean, dude, who lets you go outside like that? And here he's wearing a dress. A shirt dress. And he's looking off camera just like, what? Huh? I wonder if people are just snapping at him. Just, Fabio, over here. Look at him glancing at his watch. What time is it? It's time for me to make a black and white photo and post it up and get likes for it. That's what time it is. And here's another just outfit from hell. What? Imagine. What? Imagine him. What? Imagine from hell. What? Imagine him looking at those. Imagine him looking at those items. Those leggings. I mean, is that what we're wearing now? Leggings and t-shirt, and thinking, yep, I'm buying those, and I shall be wearing them and photographing myself. And off camera, black and white, V-neck. I mean, it just never stops. Shoulder that never stops. Shoulder that belongs on Planet of the Apes. Off camera, there he goes. A shirt that looks like It's from some sort of nightmare from the 1970s. And here he is praying. And he has, dude, look at your bicep. Look at that crinkle. Look at that line in right above his bicep. Look at that line right above his bicep. That's not normal. It's not even good. I think Fabio is a future fat guy. And here he is being an edgelord once again, flicking us off and wearing a denim jacket that's 3 sizes too small. And he's rocking that bandana thing, which I don't understand. And I wear bandanas. So as a I'm here to say, take it off. So as a bandana connoisseur, I'm here to say, take it off. That was comical. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy me. I enjoy you because you're not talking and I don't have to see you or deal with you in any way.
What's that? Coming, dear.
But no, I'm sure you're a great person. Hashtag not all. Hashtag
Got dinner, guys. Gotta go. Perfect timing.
fuck the Young Turks. Bye-bye.
There you go. That's how we do it. Save it. I just saved it. Done. Sweet. Dinner's ready. Dinner is ready. I want to see live stream with Devin Brown Fabio. Yeah, he'll never come on. Wes was talking to me though. That was interesting. We're good friend Fabio. We're good. Yeah, go eat some food and expect this video to come out soon. Oh my god, it's gonna be riveting. And you ready? Okay. Killing the stream now. Kill it.